We've been complaining that we're taking too much time on these custom anodized guns that we make. I understand it takes a lot of time, but understand that when a person orders a 3-color anodized, it takes 3 days to do that 3 different colors, because you got to do a color a day and let it dry. It takes 2 hours to run through the whole process. I can do probably 50 guns in that amount of time. So as of today, we are telling everybody it's 12 weeks for a custom anodized gun. It's not going to be 12 weeks. It'll probably be 5 to 6. If we're fast, 3. But I'm going to tell you right now, we have 285 guns at the anodizer. There's a backlog. They have to be polished, prepped, and anodized. They don't do 35, 40 guns a day. Think about all the custom guns that you see, the really cool guns that everybody likes, and that's how long it takes to do them. I'm getting phone calls, well, I gotta be at Living Legends. I gotta have my custom gun. We're doing the best we can. It comes in a line. You ordered it, you go on that line. Picture how big that line is, folks. We are working as fast as we can, as hard as we can. We are totally family orientated. We have 7 people that work here full time, including a gun tech once a week. But I get 25, 30 phone calls a day asking for, hey Bob, can you go find me a 2K2 switch? Or can you go find me a set of eyes for that GZ that I have in my back? We're trying to help you as much as we can on repairing your own guns. Yesterday alone, I got a phone call. I talked to a dealer. He had a leak out of a 2K2. Real nice guy. We sat down, we talked about it, we figured out where the leak was, and we fixed it over the phone. That's something that takes me 10 minutes out of my day to make sure that that customer was happy. Another person had an Insight with a leak. He accidentally had a 19 O-ring on a 20. If you guys lay a 19 and a 20 right next to each other, you're not going to be able to tell. And it leaked. It was a mistake. We made a mistake. We called him up. It got back to him in 1 day. I'm having complaints from people on the forums, and this is what bothers me the most. I can't tell if it's a 10-year-old kid or a 40-year-old man. You know, the other day I had a guy say, I'm never going to buy a Bob Long product again. He's all over the internet bashing us from Canada. It takes too long. I didn't get my cam drive the way I wanted it. My VCOM got shipped to the wrong city. To find out, when we called, we talked to his dad. He was out in the park playing. So do you see what I mean? These guys are just getting on there and hating. I appreciate all the people that go on the forums and say this is the best customer service they ever had. Remember, we're the last of the American-made guns. What do we mean by that? We have X amount of employees, but I have 4 machine shops that work full-time. Other gun manufacturers have come to me to ask if they could build their products on my machines. 4 machine shops, but they employ, those 4 different machine shops, over 100 people. And guess what? My anodizer employs 75 people. My box company, they're huge, American Packaging. They probably employ 100 people. Yeah, they're not all necessarily working for me, but guess what? They are working in America. And you young generations got to understand, if you don't think about this, when you become my age, your kids are not going to have a job. I mean, you guys got to understand this. We have to work together. And everybody seems to, sponsor this, sponsor that. I'm not going to complain. You guys know I don't sponsor companies. I don't sponsor pro teams. Remember, I was a paintball player. I know what we did. Okay? When I was just joining the Ironman, we paid our own way to go to the World Cup. We won at the World Cup and paid our own way there. What we win from our sponsor, he was one of my best friends, Bud Art. We won 3 guns. He gave us 3 guns for winning. But we had to pay for our airfare, entry fee, paint bill, and that was back when paint was $150 a case. And, I had, a guy was complaining about a G6R on the forums. He's from Colorado. He's the captain of 14 players, I read. He goes, now I'm too embarrassed to, Bob's not doing his customer service good enough. I don't think I'll call him up and ask him for a sponsorship. Well, I want him to call me up and ask me for a sponsorship because I'll turn him down. Because that's not the type of people that we need as an industry. These are guys that are just spoiled and they want everything now. The internet makes everybody want now. That's the problem with the internet. You don't go to the mom and pop shops no more. You don't go down and support your thing. Everybody buys through the internet. And I can tell you that's happening because my dealers order me after they get the order. So understand that we're working for you guys as hard as we can work. You might get stuck on hold. We have 5 lines here. If all 5 lines are up, we can't just hang up on somebody and go to you and just say, what do you need? We're doing the best we can. Everybody works. The packaging department, everybody works. Guess what? You don't see me flying in a jet somewhere or going down to the Bahamas because the weather's too cold where I live. All these industry leaders, you don't see me do that. I'm sitting here building engines. I'm sitting here every day like everybody else. I'm just like a worker. That's the way you make a company grow instead of just making it, well, this is the way it's going to be. We're the last of the Mohegans. Do you really think Empire and Dye builds guns on site? They buy them by the truckloads. They're going to hate me for this, but they do. They get them boxed. They come in boxes. Eclipse, they come in boxes. We develop everything ourselves. You ask us, well, buy more inventory for you can make my order faster. Well, the problem with that, I literally have hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory that I bought years ago when the Intimidators were hot and then they just died. So what did I lose? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. The internet, I'm tired of listening to the internet. If you guys don't want me to listen to you, I'll just stop looking and I'll do it my way. But if you keep on complaining and keep on making me miserable, because every time you complain about Blast, that's making me feel, as you would say, like shit. I've put my soul into this. 35 years I've done this. I like what I do. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've worked for every penny I have. I've made a lot of friends in this industry and I want to keep it this way. But you guys are pushing. You're pushing too hard. So understand, anodizing takes time. You're probably going to get it in 5-6 weeks. But I'm going to tell everybody 12. So if you don't order them, you don't order them. Okay? The Insight, it's screaming right now. Everybody wants the Insight. The big dealers order 50, 60, 100 at a time. Not 1 or 2 like you guys. But they have not been received any guns either. They get 5, 6. They might get, where you get 1, they might get 6. We can only build so fast. We only got so many valves coming in from Mac Valve. There's another manufacturer built in the United States. They build 10,000 valves a week on an assembly line. I can't get 200. I have to expedite all my valves right now. And expedite means I have to pay more for the valves, sweeten the deal a little bit, for you guys can have your guns. So that's what I'm trying to say. I hope you guys understand what it is. We are trying to make everybody happy. And what's happening is you got a few bad apples. So the guys, to build 1,000 guns, it takes $500,000 up front to even start the project. You guys don't understand how much commitment people put in to these guns. And then you complain, I didn't get my gun because it's the wrong color, or the anodize was wrong, or this guy that was in Colorado, saying, oh, I got a cam drive instead of a gear drive. Well, guess what? We haven't made a gear drive in 4 years. 4 years. We're trying to.